All right, if you're a leader, you totally know this feeling. A new strategy, a system upgrade, a big market shift, and suddenly it's on you to guide your team from the old way to the new way. It's the one thing that's always happening in business, right? And yet, getting it right is still one of the hardest things we do. So let's dig in to why that is.
I mean, it's pretty much the only guarantee we have. The market's going to evolve, technology's going to keep pushing forward, and our organizations have to adapt. It's not a question of if change is coming, it's a question of how we're going to lead our teams through it when it gets here.
You know, we have the project plans, we have the timelines, the communication strategies, we have the what and the when totally nailed down. So why does it so often feel like we're just pushing a giant boulder up the hill? Why do we hit so much friction and just lose all that momentum?
And this, right here, is the crucial point. The difficulty usually isn't in the plan itself. Nope. It's in the human response to that plan. See, a big strategic change isn't some mechanical process. It's a deeply personal experience for every single person on your team.
So to lead this stuff effectively, we have to move way beyond just managing tasks. We need a tool, a framework, something that helps us understand the why behind our team's reactions. You know, the deep down motivations that kick in when everything feels uncertain.
And that's where this idea comes in, the Enneagram of change. Look, it isn't about putting people into boxes. Not at all. Think of it more like a lens, a proven way to get some insight into how we're all wired, and how that wiring shapes our gut reactions when the ground starts to shift beneath our feet. The logic here is actually beautifully simple, and it's so powerful. It all starts with you. First, you have to understand your own natural tendency when change happens. Only then can you really see and anticipate how your team's going to react. And with that insight, you can adapt your strategy to meet people where they are, not where you wish they were.
So what do these reactions actually look like? Well, the framework boils them down to 3 core gut-level responses that I guarantee you've seen in every single change initiative you have ever been a part of. First up, you've got the embracers. These are your optimists. They see the potential, they get energized by new possibilities, and their foot is already on the gas pedal. They are just a fantastic source of momentum.
Then, of course, you have the resistors. Now, it's really easy to just label them as difficult, but their perspective is usually rooted in what's known and what's been proven to work. They value stability, and they're naturally skeptical of any change they think is unnecessary. A lot of times, their resistance is really about protecting what's already working well.
And finally, there's the cautious manager. They aren't necessarily resisting, they're just managing risk. They need to understand the logic, see the numbers, and really stress test the plan before they can get on board. They process everything through analysis and reason.
Okay, so you can probably identify these types on your team, right? You might even see yourself in one of them. The real question is, now what? How do we turn this insight into a real, concrete action plan?
This is where understanding becomes strategy. The very first step is absolutely crucial. You have to acknowledge that every single response is valid. No one is wrong. Then you can channel the embracers' energy and make them your champions. For the cautious folks, you provide the data and let them dig in. And for the resistors, you engage them with genuine empathy. You sit down, you listen, and you seek to understand what they feel is being lost. That is how you reduce friction and keep things moving.
And the difference in the outcome here is just stark. The old school directive approach just assumes everyone will get in line. It ignores their concerns, and what does it do? It creates friction. But the empathetic approach, the one we're talking about, it seeks to understand first. It addresses those concerns head on, and by doing that, it transforms all that potential friction into forward momentum.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about getting through one project. It's about building an entire organization that can evolve, adapt, and actually thrive in a world that is always changing. That's the ultimate goal.
So the most important takeaway is this. Effective change leadership isn't a choice between being a strong leader and being an empathetic one. It demands that you be both. You absolutely need the authority to set the direction, but you also need the empathy to bring your people along with you on the journey.
And when you get this right, the results are truly transformative. Your team feels valued and heard, and that builds incredible trust and engagement. The whole organization just adapts more smoothly, with way less turmoil. And you, as the leader, are now equipped to help your organization not just survive change, but to actually thrive in it.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Thinking about your team right now, and maybe even yourself. Which one of these reactions, the embracer, the resistor, or the cautious manager, do you need to lean in and understand just a little bit better?